Welcome to the TriStar Software video training series. In this video, we're going to talk about how to add and maintain customers. So go to the maintain menu here, and you go down to the customers dialog. When you click on the customers dialog, you'll be brought with the search screen. And now if we don't put in any criteria for the search and we just hit the search button, we'll get the results of all the customers in the database. But if we want to pick one particular one, we can put in a name and we'll get just that one result. So in this case, we get the Dewey Cheatham and Howe. If I clear that out and I hit search, now if I want to search, but I don't remember the first name, but I remember the second name, or maybe any subsequent name after that, I can use the wildcard, which is the percent sign. And the percent sign is a wildcard with any of the search dialogues within TriStar Software's menus. So if I put in percent and Cheatham, then I'll find anything that has anything before the word Cheatham. And if I hit search now, I'll also get the same thing. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and we're going to just want to add a new one. The way to add a new client is to either hit the maintain button here, and you'll have the dialog of pick this one, new, or edit, or I can right click in the screen below and I'll get the same dialog, pick this one, new, or edit, and in worst case we're going to go ahead and go new. Okay, so we're presented with a customer information box with nothing filled in because we're adding a new customer. So there's some things that are required and some things that are optional. One thing that's definitely required is the customer number. If any time I try to close this dialog by hitting the OK box and I haven't put all of the required information in, then a dialog will come up and tell me what I'm missing and that I can't close it without doing that. So one of those things is the customer number. If you're migrating from a previous system and you happen to have client codes that you've memorized over the last 20 years, you're certainly welcome to continue to use those numbers. If you're not, then you can just make them up as you go along. A lot of times the initials of the law firm or something along those lines. If you can start to remember them, then entering orders in the system can actually be very fast by using these customer codes. So in this case, we're just going to go with SG1. The branch dialog is if you want to assign this lawyer to only one particular branch of the company. But in this case, we only have one branch, so we just leave that as none. So under the name, we put in the name of the law firm. So we put in Sal Goodman and Associates. And we can put in attention if we need to. If we need to put in a secretary's name or maybe the billing name, this is something we can print on an invoice. If the law firm is large enough to have the needs for an attention, you can do that there. But otherwise, you can go in here and you can just fill in the information for the address. And let's see, the city is New Mexico. Zip code 87111. Okay, and then we can put in a phone number here, 800-165. Let's say call. Okay. Fax is optional. Email is optional as well. And you can choose what type of customer this is, but in the service or process side, it's not really as important, so you can just leave it as a standard customer group. The date open is going to default to today. If at some point along the line a customer is not a customer of yours anymore, you don't want to do work for them, or you don't have any work for them anymore, you can close them and then they'll stop showing up in your search results, therefore not cluttering up all your results with customers that you no longer work with. The miscellaneous tab, you can choose your customer type. This is important for billing because all of our billing rates are based on this customer type. So in another video, we'll show you how to set up new customer types, but in this case we have our default customer type, none or normal. And you could add them as, let's say, a high volume customer or special discount customer, and that way you can set up billing rates for that particular customer type. Sales tax is not really applicable here. Salesman is important if you are doing commission to salesmen, but in this case with this video, we will not cover that right now. Statement is for which type of statement they get, and we'll just leave it at default for now. We'll talk about that in another video. The rest of these things you can pretty much just leave the way they are. Nothing's really that important here. The core tab, you can skip over the core tab as well. It's not important for adding new customers. But the attorneys tab is important. You have to have an attorney. So you must have at least one attorney and one contact. So go ahead and add our attorney here. We'll add Saul Goodman. Bar number, secretary, salutation, title, email, not required. If They want to have web access. They would need just the name. So in this case, we'll just put in Sal Goodman. Those other things are, you can put those in there. If they need to be printed on forms, you go ahead and print those. We can print them anywhere you need to. So put in whatever information you have or want to have available to you down the road. So that's all we need there for the attorney. Then we'll go to our contact, and we need to add a contact. So on the contact, in order for the contacts to be able to log into the website and place orders, they're going to need to have some information. So they're going to have the phone number. So we'll put in 165, and then 1234, and email. All right, and then they can check the auto email box or not check the auto email box. But what this will do is when a job is completed, this is one of the people that will get an email telling them the job is done with a summary. So once I click OK, now I've got this person set up. So I have a contact, I have an attorney, and I have a general. Now a lot of times you're working for a small company that maybe doesn't have much more than just an attorney. Maybe there's just one attorney, there's no contact, there's no anything like that. That's fine. You can just put in under the general information, put in the attorney's name, or a lot of times it might be, Sal Goodman, attorney at law, whatever it is. And then under the attorneys, you can put in the attorney's name, and under contacts, you could also just add a new one. You just put in the word none, and you're good to go. You don't have to do anything else. Oh, except put in a phone number. But you don't have to put anything valid in there. You can actually just delete that out of there, and it'll put it in there. So now I have a none, a contact, and a regular one, but the none one could just be the only one. You just have to put one thing in there so that something's in that space. Otherwise, once I click OK, no, it doesn't like my call, so I'll change that to 1234. We do a lot of edits on some of the things like zip codes, phone numbers to make sure that it's the proper number of digits. So in this case, we'll go ahead and click OK, and now we have a new customer in the system. Now you can use them when placing new orders.